This week on the show, we have Tracy Kennedy, the CEO and founder of Rustic Gem Jewelry. Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for watching. This show is all about giving you insights and showcasing brands that help you to live your best life and give you confidence. As always, I want to kickstart your morning with some motivational advice to help you to feel inspired and energized to start your day. Today, I want to talk about the importance of where you place your attention. The reality is our attention holds great power because what we focus on dictates how we feel and what we attract into our lives. Ironically, just like the phrase paying attention, we literally pay the price for what we decide to focus on, whether it's in a positive or negative way. We always have two options: to place our attention on things that make us feel good or things that drain our energy. For example, something as small as watching negative content on social media or constantly complaining on what's lacking in our lives can deeply affect our moods in a negative way, whether we realize it or not. The great news is we can always shift our focus by simply deciding to take our attention off what drains our energy and choosing instead to focus on things that give us a deep sense of happiness. As James Clear quotes, "The more control you have over your attention, the more control you have over your future." Stay tuned. Coming up after the break. And Rustic Gem Jewelry has so many beautiful pieces. Walk us through the different collections that you guys have.
I primarily make necklaces, earrings, rings, and bracelets, and I use a ton of natural stones. I have favorites like ammonite and labradorite, onyx, amethyst, like some of those really pretty natural gemstones that are fairly common. And so my most recent collection is the Sunset Sparkle collection, and that one was really fun because it really was like purples and pinks and all the colors you would see in a sunset, almost like you're at the beach and you're watching the sunset. It was kind of my tribute to the end of summer.
Wardrobe provided by Le Chateau. Next up on the show, we have Tracy Kennedy, the CEO and founder of Rustic Gem Jewelry. Tracy, thank you so much for being on the show today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. I was telling you earlier that I love your jewelry, so let's get into it. Let's talk about your entrepreneurial journey. I know that it started during a difficult time when you were on bed rest, pregnant with your son, and you taught yourself to learn to make jewelry. So tell us about that period in your life.
Yeah, that was a tough and interesting period. So I had a 1-year-old at the time, and I was pregnant with my second son. And I went to the doctor one day, and they said, "You're going to be on bed rest for the next 14 weeks." Wow. Which was not easy to hear, especially since, I'm a type A personality. I'm always, getting things done and super busy. I had been doing consulting for nonprofit organizations in a leadership role. And so stopping everything and starting to be on bed rest was a struggle. So when I sat down, I realized, I'd always kind of been crafty and making things. And I dabbled a little bit in jewelry making, but didn't really get into it. And so when I was sitting there for 12 weeks waiting for my son to arrive, I taught myself to make jewelry, and it was so wonderful. It was, it was almost therapeutic during kind of a scary, tough time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love that you turned a dark period into your passion, and Rustic Gem Jewelry was born. So that's amazing. And you describe this job as your passion and really your dream job. So tell us about that.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, there's something about sort of the full circle of jewelry making that I find really powerful. When you're actually working with your hands and you're busy and you're making these things, there is sort of a meditative kind of therapeutic component of it. And then there's the design, right? And that really ignites my creative instincts. And I love playing with visual balance and trying to find that perfect balance. And then, when you have a product at the end, something physical that you can put on that makes you feel really good about yourself and feel confident, it's all around, it's pretty amazing.
And Tracy, you talk about your jewelry being inspired by the vibrant energy of big city fashion. Tell us about how California ties into that as well.
Yeah, California. It's I grew up actually in a small rural area in Northern California, and then moved to San Francisco and spent many, many years in the city. And I always sort of had half my heart in rural, North Bay, and then I had half my heart in San Francisco and like the excitement of the city. And so through my jewelry, I've been able to sort of blend those two by using a ton of natural stones, but then having sort of designs that are really on trend, often geometric shapes with really clean lines. And I've found that the blend of those two things really kind of marries sort of my city and rural vibes.
Mm-hmm. And each piece is handcrafted in your California studio where you are right now. Tell us about the creative process.
So I love the design process. For me, I get inspiration just when I'm out and about, walking around. I'll see a shape or something that sort of inspires me, and I'll come back to my studio and I'll draw it out in different shapes and sizes, and really try to strive for that visual balance. And then, of course, when I'm actually putting everything together, I've got all my stones out, I've got all my metal components out, I've got my music going, and I'm really looking for that perfect visual balance. And when I see it, when I put it together and I know it, I'm like, yeah, that's it, we're there.
And Rustic Gem Jewelry has so many beautiful pieces. Walk us through the different collections that you guys have.
I primarily make necklaces, earrings, rings, and bracelets. And I use a ton of natural stones. I have like favorites like ammonite and labradorite, onyx, amethyst, like some of those really pretty natural gemstones that are fairly common. And so my most recent collection is the Sunset Sparkle collection. And that one was really fun because it really was like purples and pinks and all the colors you would see in a sunset, almost like you're at the beach and you're watching the sunset. It was kind of my tribute to the end of summer. And then next week, actually, I have a fall collection coming out, and it's got those sort of rich, warm colors of fall, the deep burnt oranges and beautiful colors that, gold and browns that really make you feel connected with fall, and then some deep kind of teal greens to throw in there. So
very, very nice. And of course, the holidays are around the corner as well. What are some pieces that our consumers can pick up?
You can find the pieces on my website at rusticgemjewelry.com, and I'm also on Instagram at Rustic Gem Jewelry.
And each piece in Rustic Gem Jewelry is made with your customer in mind to show up in the world being confident. Tell us about the importance of that as a brand.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things about the work that I do that I'm really most passionate about. I really feel that as a woman who's been in business for a long, long time, that when you walk into a room, you want to show up so that you are listened to, so that you're respected, and so that your confidence and what you have to offer that room really shows up the moment that you walk in. And I have found that having handmade, unique, on-trend, good quality jewelry is sort of like the exclamation point to the entire vibe that you give when you walk into a room. And so I design my jewelry with that as the end product for my customers in mind.
Absolutely. Having a nice statement piece like nice earrings or a nice ring, it definitely raises your confidence and complements your outfit, right? So
Absolutely.
I definitely agree with that. And you're not just an entrepreneur, you're also a philanthropist. So talk to us about the importance of giving back for you as an entrepreneur and as well as a brand.
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's something that has been sort of part of who I am for my entire life. I sort of grew up professionally doing consulting in leadership for nonprofit organizations. And so when I shifted my gears and went into, being a jewelry designer, it was really important to me that there was a component that gave back. So I have given back, for example, when there was a fire crisis in Northern California, I had proceeds going specifically to some of the organizations there that had been impacted. And I just think it's really important. I as a value of both my own personal life and then also my brand, I think, caring for other people, doing what you can for other people should be a guiding light in everything that you do. So I'm also very excited because I'm working on a program that I'm going to implement in the new year that's going to have some additional impact in terms of Rustic Gem Jewelry giving back to the community.
Oh, that's wonderful. And speaking about giving back, I always see on your social media that you talk about manifestation and the law of attraction. So how do you think manifestation has played a part in your success as an entrepreneur?
That's a great question. I think manifestation is like literally my favorite word right now. I truly, truly believe that what you put out and what you give to the universe will come back to you. And I believe that there's energy in that. And sometimes it's as easy as some strong, positive self-talk. And other times it's really, paying someone an authentic compliment. Being purposeful and kind in how you communicate, it always comes back to you. And I really think that as a business owner and as a small business owner and an entrepreneur, constantly putting that positive, really kind, forward-facing attitude means that it comes right back. And I think about manifesting every single day. So it's very important.
And of course, the holidays are just around the corner. Does Rustic Gem Jewelry have a holiday collection?
So I'm really excited because I'm just putting the finishing touches on the winter collection. So that will be dropped in early November. And it's really exciting because, for a small business, we've been working on this for a long, long time. And so everything will come out in November. And of course, the holiday shopping is such an important time, especially for small businesses. A lot of people are a one-woman show like I am over here. So I'm pretty excited. It's going to have all the wonderful greens and reds and deep blues and all the things that make you think about winter. So I just want to remind everyone that it's so important to shop small during the holiday season.
I love that. And, as an entrepreneur, it comes with its share of challenges, right? It's not always easy. So what are some challenges that you went through as a business owner, and how did you get through it? And also, what did you learn about yourself in the process?
Yeah, that's a really, really good question. And I think one that, is important in this particular journey. From like a tactical perspective, like today when you have a small business, you are the marketing department, you're the CEO, you're the CFO. I'm also a photographer for my jewelry business. So you really are doing kind of everything. And I think that what happens is that by doing all of that and caring so much, you really have your business sort of becomes part of your identity. And it can carry on an extra added value because of that. And what I have found is that anytime I come up against a challenge, the best thing I can do instead of letting it sort of consume me is to allow it to teach me something, right? Allow myself to evolve as a business and a person with the learning from that particular challenge, and to know that, business success is important, but it's not entirely tied to my identity. So I think it's really important for business owners and entrepreneurs to remember that and keep plugging along.
That's true, right? When you remind yourself that it's your passion and that you're doing this because you love it, I think the success comes, right? Everything falls into place when you do it for the right reason. So I totally agree with that. And Tracy, for our viewers that want to buy some pieces from you, where can they do so and learn more about your journey as well?
Yes, thank you. You can check out the website, which is rusticgemjewelry.com. And I'm also on Instagram at Rustic Gem Jewelry.
Perfect. Tracy, thank you so much for being on the show today. Congratulations on all your success, and we can't wait to see what other pieces are in store for you.
Thank you so much. It was lovely to chat with you. Appreciate it.
The Darriel Roy Show is available on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts.